Crank man on dick.
What is going on, everybody? I am your young fella, Young T Bell, coming with another episode. I don't know what episode it is. I never can keep up until I edit it. But guess what? We back with another episode, and I got another guest. This is one of my closest friends, my best friend. He was in my wedding. That's how close we is. He is one of the people that 6th grade. Well, he was on the podcast before, so y'all already seen his face. He's the most eligible bachelor I know. Ladies and gentlemen, you got a lot of names, bro. How you want to introduce yourself?
Young COD, AP, either one. A-Rod, they called me that at one point. Crank man. I mean,
the original.
Everything. But before we get started, I would like to say, good job, T-Bell. You done made it another one.
You're doing it. You're doing it. You got to encourage somebody. He encouraged me. You're doing good, Tyler. All right, so this week is good for me because we actually kind of collaborated. He kind of helped me come up with a topic that way I wouldn't have to figure. I mean, I'm cool with figuring that on my own, but he was like, let's talk about either this topic or this topic. And I was like, cool, let's talk about these feelings.
Teamwork make the dream work.
Let's talk about a little more feelings. So this episode, today we're going to be talking about building healthy relationships. The reason we talking about it because you don't hear guys talking about that. Building relationships, what? And the only way you hear about relationships with guys is when it comes to making money. No, we ain't talking about making money. Now we done did a lot of stuff together, but we ain't talking about making money. We talking about building healthy friendships and relationships with people that you know, talk to in your family, in your circle that you work with, people that you have to talk to and deal with on a regular basis. Yeah. So we gonna talk these talks. And if I feel these feelings, you gonna feel these feelings. But we're gonna get to the nitty gritty of it, all right?
Let's get it.
So
we out you.
Let's just say this. Growing up, how would you say your relationships with people in general were? Whether it be friends, family.
You came out the gate.
We swinging.
I mean, I feel like growing up, there was two sides. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You got the shy side. I don't really talk to people I don't know like that. If I know you like that, I love you and I'm there for you. But I think now recently growing up, you start to realize, like, did we really have relationships?
Or was we just...
or did we just know each other from 6th grade?
Were we just cordial?
You know what I'm saying? Like, did we just know each other? We went to school. We saw each other every day in school. And so, that's my friend.
Right.
So it's kind of like, I don't know if I had to ask myself, do I even know how to build a relationship with another guy outside of, do you like the Falcons?
Right.
I like the Falcons.
Exactly. Stuff you're interested in. Actually learning about people versus common interests.
Right.
So it's like, we was in high school, like me and you, I think we was friends in 6th grade, but our friendship kind of dissolved, kind of died down a little bit, but then around 11th, 12th grade, we kind of started coming back together. We was, hanging out more, and I was at your house more, we was kicking it more, and we just kind of those boys that just like won't go away out of each other's lives, because we done been through a couple of seasons, and it's like, even matter of fact, from like 6th grade to 9th grade, from 9th grade to 12th grade, it's always been those up and down seasons, or those times where we really don't talk, but then we come back. It's just like boys for life. Yeah. So it's just like, you probably are one of the few people, like over my whole life journey, where I was like, okay, I have a relationship with this person, but I never was like, it's gonna be what it's gonna be. It is what it is. How some people come and go. You just like, I'm cool if we don't, mend this relationship. But it was just like, okay, that's my boy for life. No matter if we talking now, he after school, whatever the case may be. Like, this is one person that you wouldn't want to write off because you value y'all friendship. Yeah. And even like in high school, a lot of people we was talking to, it was like, we'd be cool and we'd be kicking it, but when you think about it, how many people were you really like kicking it with outside of school that you can say is a friend? Like we was doing that. Yeah. And then like, I knew we was boys. Like the day I was like, bro, I got the whip. 2 weeks. We got 2 weeks left in school.
And
I got the whip.
Me ride the whip with you.
I was like, bro, we on this journey together. I was like, we got 2 weeks left. We gonna stun out in this central, bro.
We was bumping. Thank me later.
B.O.B.
And B.O.B.
Adventures of Bob faithfully.
In the whip. And I'm excited because I'm like, we got a car.
We did it.
I ain't got to ride the bus no more.
Right.
My boy got a whip and I'm there.
That's why I was like, the last 2 weeks, you stunned, I'm stunned. We gonna do this. We gonna finish this thing strong on the right note. The funnest memory I have was I think it was like the last official day when we got kicked out, and we always go to that Wendy's on Panola, and I'll be like, we'd be like, what you gonna eat? He was like, I'm finna get a Baconator. And I was like, bro, why you keep getting it? He was like, I don't know, but I feel like I'm finna have a heart attack, but it's so good to me. I was like, bro, why don't you just start?
I did feel like the 4 for $4 wasn't a thing back then. I was like, let me hop on that bacon. And where was we getting money from?
I don't know. Cause I was still putting gas in the car some kind of way.
You was whipping that thing.
I don't know, cause I wasn't working. I hadn't had graduation money yet, so I don't know. That's a good question.
That's when we was burning CD.
We was getting wings, and we was faithfully at Wendy's.
We was faithful.
I don't know what we was doing, but anyway, we'll talk about that all night. But I ain't trying to go too deep down that. But when I was growing up, probably most of my relationships were, I would say they weren't like go out and build them. It was more convenient. Like, this person is here. Okay, well, since we have to be here, I ain't saying I ain't want to be friends with people, but it was like, okay, we grew up in the same environment or start doing the same things. Like, let's say me and you play basketball for 10 years together. Of course, at some point, we're going to have to build relationships. So a lot of my relationships were either school or church. It wasn't like I was like doing a lot of outside activities. So most of those people I'm still like cool with today, but I wasn't like, I guess, going out with a bunch of other people and breaking, some people might do like camps and all that, and they go out and make other friends. Like,
it's a friendship because of like this, like,
right?
We're church friends.
Like, but now I'm starting to see when people, like, if we friends now, and like a lot of people now, if they don't go to church, it's like, okay, what's this relationship built on if we not talking about what we originally built our friendship on? I'm seeing now a lot of the guys that have like stopped going, I'm like, okay, we still talk, we cool. Okay, so it's more than just this. But like, we in high school, okay, well, we're not in high school no more, so we're just friends because of this. Like, you in a popular crew, okay, you're friends because of this. It's not like we have like a real relationship where we
all dress fly.
Literally. And it's like, okay, you take all that away, what's their favorite color? I don't know, but his, he got them fresh J's. Yeah. What upsets him? Stuff like that. But I mean, nowadays it's different because to us, we working on trying to, express ourselves, express our feelings, and we are learning what we really like and what we don't like. Yeah. Which is a big thing for men in general.
At this age. Yeah. That, like, I would never eat a Baconator right now.
Bro, you ate enough. You ate enough senior year. Literally. But yeah, a lot of times we have you ever just found yourself staying in like a relationship or a friend, not just a relationship, but like a friendship, one, because it was convenient, or two, because you were scared of either like being alone or not having somebody to just like kick it with?
Let me tell you something I learned about myself in life. Going to therapy, all black people, people in general go to therapy, but black people, we really need to go to therapy.
Right.
The one thing I've learned about myself is I have a problem letting go of relationships or situations.
Right.
So you keep people basically in your life, not even because you're comfortable or you whatever the reason is. You just don't want to be the person that has to end the situation.
So you don't want to be that jerk. You don't want to break up with them. You don't want to be that guy.
So you got friends that like, oh, we should definitely stop being friends. This is getting ridiculous. But it's like,
how can you break, like, hey man, it's been real, but I don't think we need to hang out no more. Like,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
as a dude, I would get upset.
Hey, bro.
I would legit get upset. Like, hey man, I don't think we should hang out no more. I'm like, what?
I brought you here today.
Yeah.
With all of the other friends that I'm now about to end the relationship with.
And it's not gonna work, bro.
But sometimes you need to. Yeah. So, because we talk about a guy, we talk about seasons and all of this stuff, but when it comes down to it, are we really acting on that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, but you said something, you said you was talking to Joy, and you said, like, dang, we need to hang out without having to do something.
You right.
And when you said that, I said, dang.
Because we always got an agenda. Hey, man, let's kick it. We got a song to record. Oh, let's kick it. We finna record a video. Yeah. Literally, now that you brought it back, I was like, yeah, we literally... Every time I would come to the house, hey, we finna record a song. Or we finna do this. Or we finna... Hey, man, let's just
or it's
do
an
nothing.
Event or something like
planned. That. It's never just, let's just do nothing. That, honestly, I mean, we used to do it back then. Like, sometimes we'll just go out to eat and get wings or nothing. But us going to Applebee's, that was probably like the first time, like, we just literally was like, nothing is planned. Let's just relax.
Talk. We just, what's on your mind? What's on your chest?
Literally.
You know?
But I don't think... relationship nowadays do that. It's, you know what bothers me about guys now? That they don't know how to have conversations outside of stuff that they're interested in. Like, just imagine, like for me, you know, all I like is like video production. That's my thing. But every time hey, what's going on? Oh man, then I gotta edit a video. Oh, okay, well that's what's up. How the kids? Yeah, man, I recorded a video of them. But it's like, bro, what about you? What else can you talk about outside of what you're interested? Like, some guys, all they can talk about is sports. Some guys, all they can talk about is guns. It's like, can you talk about stuff outside of what you're interested in?
Why do you think that is, though?
Because it's probably comfortable. Because imagine how we was talking about, hey, man, how you feeling today? Ah, man, you know it's all good versus, how you feeling today? You know what? I'm feeling a little down and I'm a little upset. How does that sound in the community for men?
I would definitely be like,
you know what I'm saying? You would originally you would look at a dude and be like, first of all, you wouldn't know how to accept it, but you wouldn't know how to respond to it, because it's different. Like if you see a guy crying, like nowadays, I'm like, feel your feelings, bro. Yeah. But if you see a dude crying normally, you'd be like, man, no, man, but you know what I'm saying?
But if I don't know this man, I'm like, wait. I was not prepared to be in this deep of a conversation. Yeah.
But I'm just like, now, like, I'm always like, feel your feelings, bro. If it's anger, express your anger, acknowledge your anger, but, you know why you angry. If you sad, be sad, express your sadness, but understand why you sad. But don't just, and this is for all men. Like, if your boy come and you be like, bro, we said this is probably one of the deepest things we said when you was just like, bro, you hurt my feelings. Like, something like that, you be like, what? You would look at somebody crazy.
Hey, even when you said it just now, like, bro, I was being soft. I was being soft as hell.
And then us being friends, it's like, okay, I'm trying to take our relationship to. I mean, I'm just saying we had this conversation before, but if I bring that to you, I'm like, bro, like, if you would have been like, man, you ain't like my video, and I'm like, you hurt my feelings when you did that. To you like, huh? You dumbfounded, but you also don't know how to respond to it because guys don't have that kind of conversation. We just, oh man, I'm straight, I'm good, I'm Gucci, I'm cool. Like, bro, how are you feeling?
Or I ain't even gonna say nothing about it. Like, I'm just gonna let it fester.
I'm gonna let it ride. Yeah.
And then one day it's just like, oh, F this guy.
Yeah.
We ain't friends. I don't even talk to him no more.
And then it's like,
just talk. Just talk about it.
Express your feelings.
Do you think?
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
I was gonna say, do you think that it's a nature or a nurture thing? The reason why I ask is because my thinking behind it is that, one, in school we aren't taught characteristics. We aren't taught personality traits. We aren't taught love languages. Yeah. We aren't taught. Like, think about all the people we was hanging out with that were snakes, that weren't genuine people. But we just don't know. Like, we don't understand.
You ain't even looking for that. You just living each day by day.
Like, your parents are like, nah, this guy's not a good guy. You're like, nah, this is my boy. Yeah. Like, we hoop together every Tuesday.
You don't even see the depths behind. You just like, look, this my dude. Yeah.
And then it's like, I think as guys, I think that we've become accustomed to saying the right answer. Yeah. So when somebody asks you, I'm sure you've been asked, how does this dress look on me? Yeah. Never in your mind are you going to say what you really think. Yeah. You're going to say,
you're going to default.
Let me give you the right answer. And I think that we've got accustomed to being in a room. Perfect example. I used to work, one of my district managers is not big on sports. All right. And I did not know how to communicate with them because when we're in that awkward environment, it's like, well, what do you think about Chicago getting Lonzo Ball?
Because you think we don't have nothing to relate to.
So let's go to sports.
Right. But at that point, we both finna be uncomfortable because let's say you like sports and they like flowers. But to you know nothing about flowers. They know nothing about sports. But this is what our conversation is built on. You teaching me and asking questions about flowers versus you don't like bad. Like, I literally remember a dude asking me, he was like, you don't play football? I mean, I tried to play football, but it didn't work out. But he was like, you don't play football? Man, basketball? Nah, that's for sissies. Okay. Talk about something else other than football or sports. You don't have nothing to offer because I think, to answer your question, I think it is just human nature. That's our default as a guy to say the comfortable, non-confrontational answer because we don't want to be in an uncomfortable like for me, I know I'm non-confrontational. I'm gonna say the safe borderline answer that's gonna keep me out of an argument. But like, imagine you went to a dude and you was just like, hey man, I'm finna buy these new shoes. How these shoes look on me? It just sounds weird, right? Saying it out loud, it sounds weird.
But you gonna say, you gonna be like, oh, them fly, bro.
Yeah. But if I was like, bro, man, if a dude was like, man, I don't know about these jeans, you think they're too tight? It sounds weird. But I mean, I feel like,
why can't we as black men, like, why can't you be like, or even without you saying, you might be like, hey, bro, them shoes might not be the move.
Yeah.
Before you get them, I'm just gonna let you know.
Yeah. But that's a real relationship because, like, I can imagine if you see me slipping, and you said this when we was at dinner one day, you was like, if you was like seeing me slipping, just in a hypothetical situation, I was not being the best husband to my wife or whatever. He was like, I would check you. Like, you said that to me, but I know, like, you're one of the few people Joe would be like, they're going out, I can sleep peacefully because I don't have to worry about him because of their relationship.
If we went out and then we were in a sketchy situation, like we went in a room and there was a bunch of women there, I'd be like, we have to go.
Yeah.
My boy, I'm single.
But how many?
My boy got to get up out of here.
But how many people would do that though? Versus YOLO, live your best life, bro. Because you know how people always post, they be like, do dudes tell other dudes they're being trash? I feel like that's like uncommon. We would, like, most people would egg it on and be like, bro, live your best life. We got girls, we got wings, we got this, man. Live, yeah, man. Joy ain't here.
I want to rebuttal that, but I cannot. I cannot. I want to say, no, man, dudes don't let other men be trash. Yeah. We do.
We get them the green light. We get them the green light.
Or push through on men being trash. Like,
we don't want to be the one to be like, you tripping, bro.
Yeah, we don't want to be the loser in it, because you know what will happen. This is what I think will happen. If we went somewhere and it was a lot of women there.
Yeah,
I think instantly I'll be like, are you good? Do we need to go? And then I feel like you will be like, no, you single. There's a lot of women in here. Right. Do your thing. I'm going to just be in the corner.
Right.
And then now we just doing the guy thing.
You right, going through that motion.
But no, are you good though? Because you know what I'm saying?
I'm straight, man. Leo, do your thing, bro. But to you like, but if we're friends, I'm not questioning us. I'm just saying in general, if we are friends, you respect, you know, my situation and I respect your situation. Mm-hmm. The fact that you would ask, like, you think what I should be thinking, you know, like, bro, you good? I know this not your scenery, but you know, are you comfortable? Like, hey, you good, bro? You comfortable? Like, that's how it is. It's funny because it's like asking a girl today, you like, are you good? Are you, you know, do you need some water? Do you know something? Hey, man,
like, you straight, you bro, a man. I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
Or like, you know, different perspectives of like, I don't know, I'm not married, so I don't know what looks good and what doesn't look good.
Right.
For me, I'm just there.
But you also taking the time to try and figure it out.
Oh,
or being cautious about it. You're not just letting it fly past you like it ain't nothing. You at least, if you overanalyze stuff on my behalf, you're a good friend to me.
Oh, yeah.
But if you just accept it, roll with it, know it's wrong, it's like, what are we doing, bro?
But see, that means I can trust you in the sense of saying, like, say we going out, you know what I'm saying? And my boy T-Bell's not really a drinker, but I
know you gets to it, though.
I indulge. As a matter of fact, I told myself I'm not going to drink today because I'm going to be focused. But I indulge. Yeah. And I know, like, if I was in a relationship and we was out and we was turning up and then maybe, you know, some girl was over in the area, I know you would be like, bro, come on, bro, like, we got to go because you finna mess up. You finna make a mistake. Yeah. Then as a friend, it's like, if you make a mistake on my watch, I'm trash.
Yeah. My wife no longer trusts you.
Yeah, it's over with.
That relationship is going. Aaron coming over, and then she be like, no. Hey, Aaron want to go? Huh? No.
Y'all better be there.
But your resume is spoken true to itself to where she doesn't feel like she has to question your character. She trusts, you know, your judgment. That's why I was like, I can't wait till we can start double dating and all this kind of stuff, and you get married like that. Like, man, we having a cookout. Bring the wife and the kids.
I am the last man on my list of friends that I still talk to at this point. That's like not married in a relationship or anything. I'm like, when did I become that friend? Like, every show has the single friend.
You're right.
And I'm like, I am the single lit friend.
Right. You are. And you the most eligible bachelor I know.
This is crazy.
I don't know how, bro.
Look, man. I don't know, man. Maybe I don't know.
I can't wait for you to get married. But I'm trying to stay on track. But when would you say it was a time where you was like, you had to sit in your feelings and be like, or even when you acknowledge, like, I'm angry right now, and you actually acknowledge why you were angry versus just getting upset and, you know, going off the top. Like, you really sat in it and you was just like, that made me up like this. I don't like that. I don't like how you know, dealing with this or whatever.
I mean, for me, I'll be completely honest. I just started doing that when the pandemic hit. Because I was like, oh, my job is the reason why I'm unhappy. My job is the reason why I'm depressed. But we go on this pandemic. I'm working from home, basically. I'm not working nearly as much as I'm working.
Right.
I'm able to do my music. I'm able to drink. I'm able to chill. And I'm like, dang, I'm unhappy.
But you would think, I'm in my environment, I should be good.
This is what I asked God for.
Yeah.
I'm getting paid. I'm making music. I don't have to work as hard. And I still wasn't happy. And so at that point, I said, it's you.
Yeah.
It's not nobody else. And if you want to be a wife, if you want to be a father, start now. So that's when I started reading like self-help books and genuinely
trying to grow,
learning on myself. So the first major moment, I'll say for sure, of the testing moment was my ex at the time had posted a picture with her new boo, right? So this is the first time you see someone that you dated with posting a picture of the new guy.
Right.
So at this point, I literally had to sit down and say, okay, how are you feeling at this moment? Are you upset? Are you jealous? Are you happy for them?
You actually sit in it.
Right. Are you happy for them? And if you do feel this way, one, do you have an obligation to feel this way? Why are you feeling this way? And now what steps are you going to do to move on from it? Are you going to say something? You know what I'm saying? So in that moment, you kind of, it gave me a chance to, what changed my life about that is it allowed me to be honest with myself. And a lot of times we not honest with ourselves.
You was holding yourself accountable. Right. Sound like, yeah.
Right. It's like, hey, are you mad because are you even mad, first off?
Yeah.
Are you jealous, or does somebody else got your shirt on?
Yeah.
And you like, why you wearing my shirt?
Right. Right.
So that situation was like, that's when I started to like maneuver as a man. Like, hey, you dissected and sat through this situation. Normally, you know, when you get upset or angry, you go to your vices. If it's drinking or people smoking or whatever it is.
Right, your coping mechanism.
At that point, for me, it was like, okay.
Right. But I mean, and it's good because now if you was like, this my ex and I was like, she broke up with me or whatever, and you look at that situation differently, one would assume it wouldn't be as easy. You'd be kind of like have to sit in those feelings more, because it's like your feelings will be a little more tied depending on how a relationship ends. Like if you're the protagonist, whatever you want to say it, you're the cause of the breakup or whatever you want to break. It's easier to like detach your feelings from it versus you broke up with me and I have to see you with somebody else. Okay, am I jealous because I still want to be with you, or am I upset because I'm single, or whatever the case may be? And it's just like you have to question, okay, what's this feeling I'm feeling? And like for guys, it's like we don't take the time to dissect it. We just and we keep swiping versus, okay, let me pause this. Am I jealous? Am I happy for her? You know, what is this I'm feeling versus just moving on like nothing happened.
I got a better question for you based off that. And I know you don't have the answer to it, but when you really think about how many guys in their life have never been asked, how are you feeling? Right? So when was the first time you remember being asked, how are you feeling?
The time I actually probably paid attention was probably when I got, let me see, the most knowledgeable time where I actually was paying attention to somebody was probably when I got married.
Exactly.
Probably, yeah.
Think about that.
Because I mean, like growing up, that's not really, I mean, like, kitty, are you okay? You hungry? You sad? Like, that's one thing versus an adult. You can recognize your feelings.
Yeah.
And like Joe would ask me, how you feeling? Like, and she would give you options. Are you happy? Are you sad?
Because we don't know. We don't even know how to word it out. Like,
and like, honestly, I'm getting to the point where I'm just like, sometimes I'm feeling away, and if you ask me, I don't know how to feel. Like, I'm just here feeling how I feel, but if you ask me what's on my mind, if you're angry, are you sad, I'm like, I don't know. I'm feeling something. But you also have to respect somebody's I don't know. Yeah. Don't push them into a feeling. Like we out with a girl and you see your ex, and I'd be like, how you feel, bro? Well, you could be like, I'm good, versus you happy, you sad, you jealous. That used to be like, I'm not gonna force you to feel a type of way, but it's just like, you can help somebody work their feelings out, but don't force people to feel how they don't. If you don't know, you just don't know. And people need to understand and respect that I don't know. Like if I don't have the answer, I just don't have the answer. But then if you force me into a corner, you never know what'll come out of it.
Yeah.
But if you give me the space to work it out, one, you're giving me the flexibility to grow and work out my own emotions. And two, you're showing me that you respect me and my feelings versus trying to force how you think I should feel on it.
Because you know what you're doing in that moment?
What's that?
About to give the answer that you think you should give.
Yes.
Instead of your actual feelings. You're going to be like, I don't care about that girl.
Yeah.
Man.
And I'm me being a dumb friend, be like, man, yeah, F that bitch, you know what? But versus, are you, helping you unpack it? But if I be like, man, you good, man, forget about her. Nah, bro. If you feel like you jealous, like, bro, let's explore that. Why you jealous? You feel like, you missed, whatever the case may be, but don't force me into a emotional corner to where I have to be forced to feel how I feel, but I don't have the flexibility to figure out why I feel a specific way.
But think about this too. While you're figuring it out, right? So you were how old when you got married?
26.
26.
Yeah.
So let's say that's 2.5 decades of your life.
Yeah.
Until you had been cognizantly asked, how are you feeling?
Yeah.
So imagine you're editing a video. I haven't edited videos for 26 years of my life, and you tell me, oh, just clip this scene and move it over there.
Right. To you, that's like Chinese.
I don't know what you're talking about, and I need you to talk me through what you're talking about. But when we're talking about men, I think society needs to realize that men don't know how to communicate like women.
Yeah.
Women don't know how to communicate like men.
Yeah.
So if I really don't know.
This is the age of us figuring it out.
Yep.
Like, ladies, you have to respect a man's feelings. And he might not even know what they are, but you can't force it. Like you just said, don't force him to give him the answer you think he should give. Like, if he's not happy, you should be happy. You should be having a good time. Like, if this is not my thing,
then why am I happy?
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Don't force me because you think I should be having a good time. If I'm upset about being here, don't force it upon me to have a good time because you want me to have. No, this is not my scene. This is my ideal situation. But you get mad at me because I'm not giving you what you think. The answer that you think I should be giving you. It's like, no, I should be able to feel how I feel.
Which shuts me down because I just want to give you the right answer.
So now you're driving the wedge between us.
So I can go watch sports.
All right. But you created this situation.
The reality of it is too, and you pointed this out to me too, in the idea of, you basically said, so men and you didn't say this, but I'm gonna tie it together.
Yeah.
So men communicate differently. Me and you communicate without talking all the time.
Yeah.
Women communicate differently, right? Yeah. So there's this myth and ideal that women communicate better, which is not always true. You know how to communicate with the people you have communicated in your life. I know how to communicate with the people I have communicated. You said that I had to figure out what my marriage is like.
Yeah.
So just because you communicate with your girlfriends like this does not mean it's correct. And it does not mean that that's the most efficient way for us.
Yeah, that don't count.
When you get angry, you yell.
Yeah.
I'm not confrontational.
Yeah.
So we are never going to figure out how to work an argument out unless I allow you to get your emotions out without getting angry and shutting down. And then you allow me to speak nonchalantly, even if it sounds like I don't care. I may completely care what we're talking about, but sometimes it's like,
You're basically saying, in the midst of all of that, how not even just a marriage, a friendship or a relationship, you got to figure out, how does this person receive communication? How do I talk to them? Do they get angry? What are their triggers? If I know talking about your mama is a trigger for you, I'm a jerk of a friend if that's the first thing that come out my mouth. But it's like you gotta be intentional about figuring out how to communicate with people and figuring out what works best. Cause like with Joy, like my dad asked me a long time ago. He was like, we was probably like few months in, he was like, what's our communication? Oh, it's a 7, Dad, we're doing great. But me, like, this quarantine and this season has helped me realize like how terrible of a communicator I am, because you think, like me thinking, we're in the same house all the time, we're quarantined, you should know how I'm, what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling. And like, I would make decisions and Joy would be like, no, that's not what I wanted. We should have did this. And then I'm like, but I thought, no, but we didn't like work this out and mutually have a conversation. It was more so like, you should know what I'm thinking. You should know why I did it.
Yeah.
Because we live together. We're one. She's like, no, I'm a different person.
Yeah.
And I should be able to feel differently than you want me to feel. And if I don't feel like the way you feel or do what you want me to do, that's okay. It sounds crazy as it might sound. That is okay. It's okay. My pastor said this when we was doing marriage counseling. He was like, men and women are different, and that's okay. And I ain't know what it meant until like now. Like you just said, you communicate differently. You might communicate like Joy's way of dealing with things is, that's okay. It's been done. Let's grab it by the reins right now and let's just handle it, because I'm on, like, she will communicate, but me, I'm just like, give me some time to process.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, we got to step back.
I'm like she's like, okay, let's say somebody run into our garage and I run into the garage or whatever. To her, it's just like, okay, what was you doing? Well, trying to figure out what happened. To me, I'm like, okay, I know I did it, but I need to be able to express how I'm feeling about this situation.
That's the tough part.
Yeah.
Like,
when our two communication methods are like in the thick of it.
You know what the best example for that is?
What's that?
When a woman says, do you love me? And you say, yes, I love you. And you give that face of like,
you ain't even had it. Yeah.
Why are we even discussing this?
Right.
And then she says, well, why do you love me? What do you love about me? At this point, you're baffled because you're like,
21 questions.
And you know what your mind does? I need to say the right answer.
Yeah. I don't have there is no right answer I can give you right now that will make you feel secure in this question.
Right.
Like, I'm gonna over talk because I'm gonna be looking at your face. I'm going to be looking for the okay, I love you because that's good enough.
Because you know what's funny is because we are just now, and like you said, we have to learn how to communicate and be better. But we're at the point now of like, it's really just like, it's just that like, in the sense of they can tell us. Yeah. I love the way that you put your left sock on before your right sock on and stuff like that. But like for us, it's just like, oh yeah, I love this girl. Like she, you know what I'm saying?
She held me down. I'm cool with it. She's a great mom. She's a great wife. But to a dude, it's like, you know how you know, but you don't know why, but you just know. Mm-hmm. It's crazy that sounds out loud, but it's just like, you be like, when people ask, how did you know they were the one? If I can be all day trying to explain to you I thought. I can give you a simple story, but I mean, when you know.
You just knew.
It ain't rocket science.
But you know what's funny? If you ask a woman that, she'll be like, okay, it was on the third date, and very this specific. Happened, and this happened. Yeah. And we just like,
that's my girl.
But like you said with your pastor, neither one of y'all are wrong.
Yeah.
It's just learning how to communicate with each other.
Right.
So kind of to go back to what we were talking about before, as a man, we're going through our life trying to communicate this way with our moms, with our dads, with our wives, our girlfriends, our dogs, our kids, that we not even sitting down to figure out. We feel accomplished as a man if I took care of all these situations.
Yeah. We knocked off the to-do list.
Yeah, I made my wife happy, my kids happy, my job happy.
I bought this, bought that, made whatever money I was supposed to do. Yeah.
But you go to bed now with all of this on your heart.
Yeah.
Because you never communicated your side.
Yeah. You don't feel fulfilled as a man. You just feel like how we was talking about, what are you outside of a videographer, an editor, a music man, or a dad? What are you outside of all of that? And it's just like, okay, I went to bed and I knew that I completed my to-do list, which is do everything for everybody else. But what did I want to do? Figuring out what makes me happy.
Which could just moment. Be we was talking before where you said I ain't played 2K in I don't know how long. Yeah. And I'm like, well, we used to be on that 2K
every day.
Heavy. So it's kind of like, I remember I was out on this date. And this girl had asked me, like, what did I like to do? Of course, I was like, I like to do music and blase, everything. I ran down the list. I do this, I do that. And she was like, nah, but what do you like to do? Mm-hmm. Like, if you didn't have to do nothing, what would be the nothing you would do? And almost as a man, it felt like, well, I would be lame to say, I just want to play 2K, or I just want to watch Loki, or Love is Blind, I just want to watch the game. The Falcons come on at 1.
I don't want to do nothing,
right?
And so you sound you feel like you sounding unproductive or lazy.
But you know what I thought about?
What's that?
Is if I'm going on dates or if I'm talking to these people and I don't at that point tell you who I really am, I'm
down the line.
I'm setting us up for failure. Cause
you are setting the parameters and the boundaries of your relationship. You knew what you was getting when we got. I told you I like playing 2K. So I'm not a nerd or whatever.
This how I de-stress. I might watch Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Super. Who knows?
Now, people change every day, every year. That's one thing. But at least you know if I revert back to what made me happy as a single man, you knew what you were signing up for. So it's like no surprise.
But I feel like guys are creatures of habit, though.
Most definitely.
Me and you do the same. We do the same thing.
Most definitely. You could text me tomorrow night and you'd be like, what are you doing? Same thing I was doing last night.
It's the same thing. You know what's funny?
Creatures of habit.
When we text each other, I never ask what you doing. I'd be like, just checking in on you. Like, but I know what's going on.
Yeah, literally.
9 times out of 10, if I ain't at work, I'm doing something in the studio. Like, that's just, it is what it is. So that's what intrigues me of like this growing and maturing that as men we are trying to do, because it's like people say, our generation doesn't know how to date. And I say, well, I don't think no generation really knew how to date.
Yeah, it's
let
different.
alone with
this generation
technology.
Is figuring out. We have a worse way of figuring out how to date now. We have more obstacles. Like, imagine 50 years ago. Hey, mom or grandma, how'd you meet dad? No, he lived in the creek behind the house.
Literally.
And I would walk to the creek.
I met this man at church.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, but nowadays, how you meet your wife? Man, she slid in my DMs. That's foreign language to the.
I said that to my dad. Like, I said that, like, we was watching a show, and I was like, oh, I just follow her on Instagram. I'm finna send her a DM. He was like, what?
To him, it's like, go talk. That
old
like,
what? You can, it was like, yo, you can talk to somebody that's not, like, here?
Right.
I'm like, yes.
You got video chat and text, bruh.
That's why I tell people, before you sit down on your first date, you have already decided and acknowledged.
You done scroll. You done look at their resume.
What are y'all going to be? Because women, I was talking to my mother, and she was like, yeah, you just need, like, the first name and any kind of fact with them. We
do our research before we even send the message.
She was like, I just need your first name in a car. The car you drive. I said, yo, how you didn't even have the internet when you were doing this.
Right.
So
it was such a simple time.
But guys, I feel like it's like an interview where, a lot of and to keep this in the topic of what we're talking about, I think with us correlating with women is kind of showing guys where we need to step up in a lot of scenarios. So women are coming in the first date prepared sometimes. Like, this is what I want. Even if you take, the scammers and the people that just want somebody to pay their bills or be a provider for them, they're coming prepared. We just like,
I'm just here to have a good time.
I thought you were cute on Instagram, and
But like, nah, they done did their research too. They probably did a deep dive into the background of the person. But like you said, they're like, I see potential in you. But to most guys, like I said, you was cute, you was bad.
Yeah.
I had to hop down. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, when you think about now, imagine like surrounding yourself with people who are actually honest with you. And they tell you, they tell you when you're wrong, they tell you when they're right, they tell you their legit thoughts. Versus just green lighting you to be wrong. Like now I'm getting to that point where I want to surround myself with people that's like, you can acknowledge that you're wrong, you can apologize about it, or if you see me tripping, you won't call me out, but you'll let me know where I went wrong, and you'll help me realize the error of my ways. Versus, hey man, just keep doing you and accepting it. Like, we are not friends if that's the relationship we have. If you see me, and I put this on Facebook like last year, I was like, if you see me being trash, doing trash behavior, and you right there with me, it's one thing to be like, okay, now I'm gonna let you have your fun, but we're gonna talk about this later because you tripping. Versus, man, let's do it, forget it, we single. Like, like in today's society, who your true people are. Like, you don't even have to ask, you just have a real conversation with somebody. Outside of what you're just interested in. If you can't like really talk about anything outside of like let's say me and you, we like sports. All we talk about is sports. Then sports go away. Okay, well, I ate pizza today. What you ate, wing? You know what I'm saying? Like,
you know what's gonna happen? We're gonna be like, man, next season gonna be crazy.
You know what I'm saying? We looking forward to the next thing. Cause we trying to force something that ain't really there. But it's like, bro, all the dudes out there that's got homeboys, all the women out there you got, well, no, girls, it's too easy for girls. But dudes, ask your boys, how are you feeling today? Don't let them get away with a scapegoat answer talking about, I'm cool, I'm chilling. No, bro.
I'm Gucci.
Ask them.
How you feeling?
Yeah. You know, ask them, when is the last time you were upset, and why were you upset about that thing, that situation? I guarantee you will knock your boys off their feet if you ask that question.
You'd be like, bro,
you know, you all right? You feeling all right?
Like, why are you? What are you okay?
Right.
Like,
that's foreign. But I mean, I think as men, you know how earlier I said every round's supposed to get higher and higher. Every generation's supposed to get better. I feel like this generation of men, honestly, and I'll say it, are stronger than the previous generations. It's a bold statement, I know. But I'll say this. Being in touch with how you feel versus just going through the motions and being angry or... Now, I'm not saying not working and not taking care of your family. That's one thing. But, like, the willpower, not... So forget all the hard worker and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm talking specifically about being in touch with who you are, what you want, what you like, and how you feel.
Yeah.
Do you know,
emotionally. Yeah.
That's my next point. You know how much strength it takes for you somebody to be like, how you told me, you was like, bro, you didn't give me the same energy I thought I deserved on my videos. Like, you know how hard it is for a man to say that to another guy?
Yeah, that's real.
Like, back in the day, man, whatever, man, I ain't got to deal with that. But for you to be like, bro, or you hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
That's embarrassing.
You ain't got to keep saying it.
And you know the funny way about it, if I'm looking in your eyes, I'm like, bro, I gotta be out. You see how awkward that is? And that's a strong moment.
Hey, that's why we had that conversation over the phone.
But you see how
over the phone.
You see how intense that was?
I gotta take it.
But you see how intense that moment
right,
is?
I'm not gonna look at you.
But you can be like, bro, this is how, like, feelings, we don't do that. But you
hilarious.
can see how much work it takes to just even build up the courage to be like upfront about that. Like, versus I'm cool, brush it off. But then you start suppressing. Then you find yourself in a deep, dark space, like depressing. But you be like, I never thought about why I'm depressed. I'm just depressed. But it's like, bro, you've been suppressing so much stuff for so long.
Yeah, like, why are you depressed? That I had to ask
Where did it
myself,
start?
like, why am I unhappy? What is making me unhappy right now?
Which is crazy because you look at the news, you be like, this billionaire killed himself. What?
Man.
But you got money. They say more money, more problems. But to you, on somebody at this level, when this tax break, you like, man, shoot, I had $1 billion.
It's gonna fix all my problems.
You know what I'm saying? But to them, it's like they probably, but to them, they got to worry about people coming after them. They got to worry about owing people. They got to worry about paying
sued, all kind of stuff.
Bruh, all I got to worry about, my biggest thing is paying daycare and my mortgage. That's my biggest fight right now.
You know what's funny? I used to work for a company called Mosquito Squad for the people out there.
What a time.
And let me tell you, that was the hardest I've ever worked. But you know what? I was in so much peace with doing that. And I was making $600 every 2 weeks. I wasn't making no money.
Yeah.
But now that I am making a good amount of money, it is like, some days I be like, dang, I do just miss my job was to go kill some mosquitoes.
Simplicity of it all.
I knock on that door. Hey, I'm gonna spray your yard. Get done 16 minutes. That's all we had was 16 minutes to get it done and get on. Whereas now, like, I was talking to one of my other friends, and I was like, we went to Alabama because I went to school in Alabama, and we were hanging out. And I was basically telling them, like, yo, it feels good to hang out and not have that weight on your shoulders. Like, I don't have to be a manager or running a record label or trying to do all of this. We just chilling in Alabama.
Yeah.
Feet up. But I think to go back to what we saying, like, how often as men do we have that moment to be like,
rarely ever, because we will find something. If we're not doing something, we feel lazy. Or the world will label us as sometimes.
I'm glad you brought that up, because you said something to me before And when you said it initially, I agreed with it. Mm-hmm. And then afterwards, I said, this is the downfall of us. You said, man, Joy be telling me like to go have fun. And I be like, no, I ain't gonna go have fun. I got work to do. I can't come back in the house and say I had fun. And at first I was like, nah, yeah, you can't do that because you the man. But then I thought about it. I said, dang, so is my boy not having fun?
You're right.
Like, and if you're not having fun, or if we're not having fun, that's solely on us because she said, go have fun. Right. I don't want you here not having fun.
Right.
But we go, no.
And that contributes to what we were talking about earlier, how you're not doing for yourself. What are you outside of a husband, a dad, a manager, or whatever? Video, that's what I want to do. That's my thing. But it's like, okay, I don't want to do this because I have to wear these other hats. But it's just like when you have the opportunity to wear this hat that you enjoy wearing, you know what I'm saying? Now, to a certain extent, I ain't saying go out there, be a fool, and just let everybody take advantage of my time. No. At the same time, it's like if you have the flexibility and the space to go do something you enjoy freely versus, doing something for everybody else, then you should be able to take advantage of that time to do what makes you happy versus having to do something for everybody else.
But look at what you just did.
You right.
You went straight to video.
You right. Now,
you was like, let's be the fun is the video. I'm gonna ask you this, and this is an honest question because I ask myself this now. Mm-hmm. Is making videos and editing videos really that fun to you?
It is to me.
Are you having fun?
Strangely, is it not editing, but the finished product? I'll say that.
So your fun, and that's why I love this because I had to be honest with myself. Your fun comes with the end of the creation and the adoration that you'll get for your product, not the video and not the editing.
Right.
Because if you could, you would want to be with your kids.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
So I had to ask myself,
like, computer. I'm a dad.
Right, right. And I think that's what people are asking from us. And I think people get frustrated with that when they be like, what do you like to do? We don't know, blah, blah, blah. I think that's what Joy is asking from you of like, no. Mm-hmm. You can do that. Go have fun.
Right.
What is like
now as a man, what is fun?
What is fun? Is it playing 2K? We used to go hoop, is it watching? You said that to me like, yo, we need to hang out. And I said, okay, this football season, one of these games we're gonna watch together.
Yeah. Well, definitely. Yeah.
But when I realized like my fun is centered around doing music, and I know you be editing videos stressed out sometimes. You got deadlines, you got this, you got that. So it's kind of like, yeah, making songs is fun, but now we've made it work. We've made this what our end all be all because this is what we want to do for the rest of our lives. So it's like outside of that
goes to the whole thing of when they be like all work and no play because it's not fun no more because it's work and it's stressing you. Like me doing I'll say this, doing stuff for like other people, of course, is more stressful. But if it's like one of my projects, I can say editing it's not work
because there's no weight on it.
There's no weight. It's just me doing me like flexing my creativity, figuring stuff out, and me trying stuff out. But it's like when I guess your brain is triggered to know what work is and what fun is. Like,
because I have to do this,
right?
Instead, I'm just doing this for fun,
right? Like you doing your own mixtape or your album. This is my thing. Mm-hmm. But if I come to you, even though let's say I pay you $10,000 to produce my album, it's still gonna be work. Now, I'm not saying like you would still rather do this than be at a 9-to-5 for somebody else. Like I would prefer that to me doing my thing for something I'm interested in versus having to do something I'm completely not interested in for somebody else. But at the same time, it's like okay, you know how they say when you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. I'm kind of struggling with that.
That's cute.
Yeah.
That's cute.
At this second, I'm struggling with that because work is still work.
Yeah.
You can love doing hair, but I know your fingers be cramping, girl. Yeah. You can love doing nails, but I know you got some blisters.
Some people I genuinely don't like making beats for. It's just a process. It's just such a stressful process. I'd be like, bro, no.
And the weight, that's the key word you said. Now I need to hold on to the weight of, like, I ain't tell you. Like, I turned down this wedding. I'm going to tell you, I ain't told, me, Joy, my parents know about it, but I turned down this wedding. And I know the money was good. The money was going to be good. And I know I could have used it. And I'm in a place where I'm like, okay, I need the money. I can use that money. I got stuff to take care of. But all money ain't good money. And then you start weighing out the options of
weddings is stressful, dog.
We talked about this.
Weddings is stressful.
And I just thought about the weight that would come with it. It's like, do I want to? The money would be good, but it's just like my peace of mind. I was like, enjoy ain't even trip. She was just like, what you thought? Okay, you cool? You cool with your decision? Bet. But me, money hungry Tyler, let's do it. Then you be mad. I be at the computer like, why take this project? Bruh. Choosing your own happiness. Money is good to have, but the things you got to do to get that money, sometimes it can be double hockey sticks because it wasn't worth it in the first place.
So you know what I've learned, and I challenge you to do this. Like figure out what makes me happy is walking on the beach. And I had to figure out and it could be something that simple away from, because for me with doing the music and being honest with myself, I no longer make songs like we used to make songs in the sense of you're editing a project for you. Yeah, it's like that now, but wait till you really start moving in that success and moving into that season of blessings for your personal life. And now it's like I make music with reasoning, like literally recording a hook. I'm like, okay, I'm probably gonna put this on this project. I need to get a cover art. I need to put everything on DistroKid to get it prepared. I need to get the lyrics. I need to be writing that down. No, I'm gonna put it on this project.
All the hats.
Oh, but I gotta finish this project. So then it's like, okay, beyond that, let's take this away. If God said, hey, I'm gonna give you $1 million,
right,
to do whatever it is you want to do with your life,
right,
away from this computer. What's that? What we gonna do? I literally would be like,
I got a few ideas, but you know how you don't be knowing what's really serious, or you just be thinking. I got stuff like that, but I don't have like. My mom always asks me, okay, when the opportunity presents itself, would you be ready? And you'd be like, okay, like let's just say, playing around in the situation. If I was like, yeah, I want to buy this house, but I only want to spend $220, but this house is, and I'll be like, this house is that much, and my mom would be like, hypothetically, this is not the situation, but she'd be like, okay, you only want to spend $220. How much the opportunity is presenting itself? How much would you need to get what you really want? And I'm like, I just want to spend $220, and she'd be like, I didn't ask you that. How much did you need? But you know, to us,
get what you want.
But we don't know what we really want.
Yeah.
So we done dropped the ball because we wasn't prepared for that increase. We just like, I don't know. And she's like, okay. She always says, this is the fun thing about my mom, I'm not asking just to be asking. Oh, no. I'm one of them people that, put my money where my mouth is.
Women ain't never asking to just ask.
Like she like legit be like, okay, so how much? And you be like, if you know what you want, my parents will always follow through, no matter what. Okay, the house I want to spend $220, but to get what I really want, it'll be an extra $30,000. That's all I need to know.
Yeah.
And you already know it's good as gold.
Yeah.
But a lot of times, how you just said, we just don't be knowing what we really want.
Because as a man, I shouldn't need my mama.
Yeah. You supposed to have it figured out.
Yeah, I should do this on my. I'm gonna tell you. You know, of course, our parents are similar.
Yeah.
My mama. There was a situation in my life that I was trying to buy something and it increased drastically more than I was ready for that increase.
Right.
And so I'm talking to my mom. I'm like, I just don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna do it. Right. She turns around and looks at me and says, "This amount of money increase, right? Mm-hmm. Is that bigger than your faith in Jesus?" And I said, I'm not saying that at all. And she said, yes, you are. You're saying that whether it's $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, if something is $40,000 more than what you thought it was going to be, then that price is too high for you to believe in what Jesus has for you. And so then I was like,
put the cramps on God, because this is all we believe in him for. But that crazy faith that we supposed to have,
come on,
we
mustard seed.
We just like, but this, I don't want to be. How can I say this? We call ourselves trying to be considerate of other people, whatever. I guess that's our way of humbling ourselves by putting God in a box because we don't want to be greedy. Yeah. So we tell ourselves, okay, no, God, but you're good enough for good 100,000, but 250,000, I ain't gonna have for much. Versus, I want a house that's 250,000. Yeah. I said it, I believe it. It's out there. Now God, it's in your hands.
Well, God might be like, hey, or the idea of, You want a house for $250,000? No.
Yeah.
I'm going to get you a house for $350 because this is what you need.
Right.
This is what you want.
Right.
You're going to have this. You don't even know.
This is what you asked? Yeah.
You don't even know. You finna have kids. You don't even know because you ain't even met your wife yet. You ain't even thinking about it. I'm going to give you this now. You're going to check. The prime example is Moses getting the people from Pharaoh, let my people go, spread the sea. Right. We done had the locusts and everything come through. I done turned
ungrateful Israelites,
this thing to a snake, and halfway through the journey, y'all like, I go back and be a slave.
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
So we mentally being slaves to and this ties into everything we talk about. Mentally we being slaves because we don't want to learn how to communicate, want to learn how to be emotional because it's comfortable. I just learned personally. One of my personality traits is I'm a perfectionist. I never. I mean,
yeah. Not you, but I'm saying, yeah. I
but
can relate.
You never want to say that.
Yeah. You never. I acknowledge my OCD in a situation.
Right.
Yeah.
So in reading that, it said that you would get irritated at other people because you don't feel like they're gonna do as well as you would do on it, or you take criticism hard.
I think that, yeah.
So I remember when I sent you the What's Next album, you was like, I was like real trappy. It ain't got a lot of pop. Initially, back then, I was like, man, I got this song, I got that song, I got a jazz song. What he mean? It ain't no pop. But then now I can say, okay, am I being a perfectionist right now? And am I just taking criticism wrong? And from his perspective, is my perspective of pop and his perspective of pop could be two different lanes of perspective. Right. So like with like I said, like us, we didn't learn this in school. We didn't learn personality traits or nothing like that.
It's all new to us.
Now knowing stuff like that, I can catch myself like, hey, why am I irritated? Why can't I let this person do what they do? And just
fun thing about that. So, being a husband now, I know husband and father, but I realized as a video creator, I'm on the journey of looking for something to improve on, right? Or within my projects. But I feel like my growth got stunted because, oh, you did good, or I like this. It's encouraging, but like my dad and my mom, my wife, they'll be the most straightforward people versus, oh, I like this. The yes man, you did great. I loved everything about it. Versus, this part you could have did this. So that part, I'm on that part. So now I feel like when people, I've been this is crazy. I've been encouraged so much. I don't know when criticism, I'm actually being criticized. So it's crazy because I'm when people now, when I'm looking for criticism and I don't get it, I'm just kind of blindsided when somebody be like, yeah, the video's good, but it was too long. It was the perfect length. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
But I getting it from family is one thing. You deal with them, but getting the criticism from people you don't know because you don't know how they're thinking, how they received it, they're consumers of your product. How do you receive that versus, man, I don't know what you're talking about, man, it's on fire. Or, okay, you should have tried this, or you could have tried that. And you get to that point where you just think you don't stink, where you think everything you do is gold. Sure. But then, when you have that one person that tells you, let's say you get with a girl, and you can be like, oh, I did this album, it went double platinum. But to her, she can be like, it's not my cup of tea. I ain't really like it. To you, but real. She's entitled to her opinion. Yeah. Two, that's criticism. Okay, you don't like it. I'm cool with that, but why?
Yeah.
Because I think you asked me that. Because one day you was like, you asked me about an album you did, and I was like, I said something, but my original response was based on not really listening to it. It was just a generic response. But when I went back and listened to it, I could really break down why I did or did not like it versus I don't rock with it like that. Okay, you're entitled to feel like that, but why?
What happened?
Right.
Where was the?
What helped me understand? What do you feel would have made it better? If you can't justify how you feel about why you don't like it, kind of pointless for you to tell me in the beginning.
Because I'm the type, I'd be like, look, okay, you said pop song, cool. Send me a pop song that you like.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Don't just tell me it's trash. Why is it trash?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Help me. Because, I mean, this is a growing moment for me. But if you just tell me, oh, man, I was just talking, or, man, it's all right. No, if you don't like it, tell me. Right. And tell me why you don't, because this is a growing moment for me. Yeah. Like, if you hurt my feelings, that's on me. I got to deal with it. But at least I know where the area of improvement comes from.
You know why we do that? Because we treat our creations like our friends, in the sense of, because I've been friends with you since 6th grade, that means he would never do anything to hurt me.
Right.
So for me, I've listened to this album before I put it out. I've listened to the album probably 500 times,
right,
if not more than that. So when I put it out, it's like, oh, this is my baby.
Right.
You know, so when people don't like your baby, it's like, yo, I've been working on this for a year. I done this. I done dropped all these songs, blah, blah, blah. But like you said before, a man has the right to say, I don't know. Same way somebody can listen to that and say, well, it just wasn't my cup of tea.
Right.
You know, I'm more of a Jasmine Sullivan person.
Most people, like I said earlier, you know when you know.
Yeah.
It's in my ear, but I don't like it. Why? I don't know, but I just don't.
Or it might be, you know, for example, this was at a previous job, not the current job. At your previous occupation, you was like, yeah, I'm listening to it at work. I'm just kind of going back and forth with it. Whereas if you were at a house party and it was to come on, it may have a completely different vibe.
Yeah.
Then, you know, you just got your headphones in, just like, oh, okay, I see what.
You ain't taking the time to, like, let's just say you watched Avengers Endgame on your phone versus going to the theater.
Yeah.
You watch it on your phone, the experience.
It's different.
How it's presented.
And you watch it without watching the previous one.
Yeah, exactly. So to you, it's like, oh, it's okay movie versus the build up and the presentation. And then you get the atmosphere, the music, the speakers, and you get the entire effect. And it's like, okay, I'm feeling that junk versus, it was all right. You got because when I was listening to it at first, I was like, in my earbuds, I was like, man, that's cool. But then set the atmosphere, going to listen to the speaker, got the bass, hit the chords, hear everything. It's like, okay. It's, now I have a better input.
Right.
Versus one, I didn't like it because I didn't take the time to fully listen to it. And two, I didn't also tell you some real feedback that could also either help you or, you know, tell you my real opinion versus, oh, man, it was cool. Because I was like, yeah, man, I like the bass line. Yeah. Like, that's...
Yeah. Or even like for us, and this goes back to like why guys don't communicate with each other, is as soon as something happens that's not really like, for me, I ain't really trying to be in no confrontation and nothing like that. As soon as I see that, I get defensive.
Yeah. So
if you're talking to somebody and the guy's like, hey, blase, and you get defensive, it's like, nah, whatever you saying don't even matter. Because you're not even, that's when you start like throwing stuff, well, you're not even listening. You didn't even really listen to it. But what if, and in theory, I thought about this, like, does he technically have to listen? Like, how many albums do I really give a listen to?
Yeah. So like your undivided attention.
Just if it ain't got Drake, Aubrey Graham on that
I ain't listening to the whole
probably thing. Now, of course, with me being in music, I'm gonna give everything that one listen. But even like you said, you know, 2-3 listens in, then you can be like, oh, they did this. Oh, this goes with that.
Right.
So I had to check myself and say, this man does not have to listen to your songs more than one time. If they not feeling it, they just not feeling it.
You honestly be knowing on. I'm not. Now sometimes, like, I ain't gonna lie, that like when I say you know, but sometimes a second listen does change your perspective. Because I remember when Joy first played, when she played Leave the Door Open, and I was like, she played it on her phone. I was like, but then she played it on the speaker. I was like, what that is? You know what I'm saying? Hold up. But it's all about presentation.
Or you listen to it at a cookout, it just hits different.
The atmosphere.
It hits so different than you just chilling at your house like, oh yeah, I heard this new song.
Man, the energy, it add to it.
Or putting you know, I'm for the people that's watching, I'm dropping a music video in like September, early September. Mm-hmm. For that, I'm like, I need to tell T-Bell he need to watch this on the TV.
Oh yeah, you gotta set the atmosphere.
You gotta watch. Don't do it on your phone. You gotta watch it on the TV.
Don't do it on the phone.
You know, you gotta feel the song and everything. Like even when I show people, I'm gonna show it on the TV because it's just a different atmosphere. Yep. Like you said, in game, if you not watching it, I can watch it at home all I want, but it ain't nothing like watching it in the theater.
Even if you got speakers, it ain't nothing like a scary movie. Ain't nothing like watching a scary movie, hearing people yelling and screaming in the theater versus at home. What?
On your phone, you can't hear to your left.
Right.
On your left.
You can't hear that bass, the thump. it's all about. See, this is why I made the video. It's all about presentation. I don't know how we got here, but it all goes back to like your relationships, how stuff is presented, and then it adds to how it's received. Because even if you're in a like relationship with a woman or something, and they, like, let's just say nicely as possible, I didn't like the way you talked about me in front of my friends, nicely as can be put, because it made me feel like you weren't sure about our relationship. To you, as a man, we don't know how to, I fail. Throw the relationship away.
Or she tripping. Like,
right.
Bruh.
Again.
Oh my God.
But what I had to learn was, that's why I was like, I would not let Joy feel like she would be, to give her the space and the platform to be open and honest with me about how she's feeling, because I'm like, what? Oh, again, man, you always got something to say, versus, I'm saying how I feel. I don't like it. Because now when I do it, I'd be kind of timid, because I'm like, I'm tripping. But no, I should feel like this. But I'm being whiny, but I should embrace my feelings. Yeah. And it's always that internal battle, because you just like, okay, how can I present this in a way that doesn't sound like I'm attacking your character?
Right.
But I mean, like, to her, she does a great job, because, like, to me, I'd be like, communication, like, she has to pry me to, how are you feeling? I don't know, but I'm just sit here and pout. You don't need to know how I'm feeling. Well, how we gonna grow as a husband and wife? Like, if I don't know how you feel,
we do, because that's what we used to do. We was kids. We got in trouble. We ran to the room, shut the door.
Like my son be doing that mess now. You heard him with that crying before he started recording. You just be tripping for no reason.
Because we not. And then I realized too, like, that's a part of communication, like telling people, like, look, I need time to process it, because you can ask me how I'm feeling now, and I might go off the end in a way that I'm not trying to do. So give me, but also what we do too is we utilize that as a vessel to never talk about it.
Yeah. Put it in the back pocket.
We just, no.
Oh, no, we good.
Because I'm quick to be like, oh, I'm over it now.
Yeah.
Like, we ain't got to talk about it no more.
Right.
And they like, no, I need to talk about it. It's like, nah. I don't have anything.
Women going to be talking about it. They going to talk about some feelings. Let me tell you, they not going to suppress it. You can wait. They going to, what's funny? Like that, what's funny, Mo? In a marriage, it's funny.
I just think it's funny how.
It's a crazy presentation way of communication. But what's coming when they say that, but in the midst of it, you just like, oh man, what did I do now? Versus, hey, can I communicate something to you? Or, people, when you hear about people love languages and how they receive stuff, it all go hand in hand with, like I said, that presentation. Because when or you feel like, not even that, if your mind is already made up that the situation is gonna be negative, then that's what it's gonna be. There's no reason I'm gonna communicate with
anything they say at that point, you're gonna be like, you're defensive.
You're not even, you listening for a rebuttal. Okay, well, you like double dutch. Okay, I'm gonna jump in. You done? Well, and you ain't hear nothing else said.
Yeah. But you also got to be able to receive. Like, yes, I'm listening to you, and I'm digesting, and I'm understanding what you're saying. But you then have to be able to receive, because now I'm finna say my feelings.
Yeah.
I'm opening up.
Yeah.
So you got to be able to receive
what's
what
you
come
want.
out.
This is what you want.
You asked me how I felt. This is how I feel. I feel like you did this. I feel like you did that. I feel like you did that. I'm not attacking you. I'm not trying to manipulate the situation. I'm just telling you how I feel. Because I think the difference, men and women don't like communicating sometimes, because we want to communicate with a reason. Yeah. I'm going to call you and talk to you about this because this is the reason.
Specifically.
Sometimes women just want to talk.
Yeah, I'm hearing. I get it, bro.
They just want to. Or how many times have you been in a situation where your wife is telling you something and you, in your mind, you trying to fix it, but she don't want you to fix it? Yeah. You just here to listen.
I'm a man. I'll be like, like a Rubik's Cube. You just keep turning and twisting.
Okay, so the people at your job get on your nerves, so you need to quit.
Right.
I need to go make some more money.
Job. Yeah. I'm Superman. I gotta fix
Or do
this.
I need to come up there?
Right. She's like, nah, I just want to vent.
Like, nah, you don't. Look, she probably like, what you gonna do? You ain't fought in decades.
Right. But in this, I'll make this my last point. But a lot of times with guys, especially, and we said this earlier, but in situations, most of the time, at least 98% of the times, in situations that's new, familiar, uncomfortable, guys, we be knowing how we feel, but we don't want to rock the boat because we know because we either assume or know what the outcome could be. Like right now, if let's say you dealing with a person in the music industry or whatever the case may be, and they in the booth, and you know the album trash. Hey man, what you think? Oh, you ain't got to process it, but can you be honest enough with yourself to be like, it wasn't my favorite, or I didn't like it. I mean, you ain't got to be ugly, but it's just
with that. Okay,
yeah,
for sure.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but you know exactly how you. Nah, be honest, bro. How you feel? You be knowing, even in relationships with your woman, you be knowing. How did that make you feel? How can I say I didn't?
Remember,
like
it goes back to I'm trying to say the right answer.
Yeah.
I ain't trying to say. I'm trying to say what's right.
What's the green light answer? What's gonna keep me safe versus this is how I felt. I know you don't like it, but I just gotta speak my truth. And that's I think a lot of guys got to get to that point, whether it's with their friends, their woman, their wife, your kids.
Well, I think we have to get to a place in the black community specifically. First off, like you said, the one thing that's going to shake a room is a boisterous black man.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been times where at my job, they's like, well, we didn't want to tell you this because we didn't want you to get upset. Mm-hmm. I have never been that upset at this.
Yeah.
I'm black. I'm not going to do, y'all won't fire me. So, and in the community, it has to be people want honesty and communication, but they don't.
Yeah.
You have to be able to, nobody really wants people to walk around being honest all the time.
Be honest with me.
You got to accept it. Because if I come in, I'm the type of person of like, you open that door and we just being honest with each other, well, let's go. Yeah. Don't ever cook what you cooked last night again.
Yeah. But if you open this door, and I walk through it, you need to be ready for what comes through it.
We got to both be able to make it.
Yeah.
And walk through. I have to not be so sensitive when you come into me because I feel like you're attacking my manhood.
Yeah.
And this is a topic that, we can have at another time. Mm-hmm. We have, I don't even want to get canceled.
How much time we got for it? Go ahead. We can end on this note.
I'm gonna say the last thing I'm gonna say we have lived we've grown up in a space of men, dust yourself off, keep going, don't show no emotions, don't cry. Mm-hmm. Women, it's okay. I called at you. So for my queens out there, all I ask is that accept the fact that you may not be perfect. And for men, accept the fact that you don't have to be perfect.
Ooh.
Come on.
Ooh.
Come on, Lord.
You ain't perfect. You don't have to be perfect.
And once we get out of that realm, we're humans, we're working together, we're communicating, we're going to be straight. We're going to make it.
You got to make an effort. And I'll end with this. To piggyback off of that, making an effort to I say this on Facebook, acknowledge your wrongness. No, you're not perfect. You ain't, like you said, you ain't got to be perfect, but willing to try and work out your imperfections versus just accepting them. Mm-hmm. And until we get to the point, like you just said, of realizing our faults, if you don't got to be perfect, or if you're not perfect, you need to understand that. Okay, men, it doesn't have to be right all the time. Women, you're not right all the time. Okay, don't cancel me. But you know what I'm saying? Like, we all need to bring to the table the effort and willing spirit, just like in a marriage. Like, I'm getting to that place now in my marriage. Trying to find my imperfections and stop trying to put the blame on other people, on my wife, and say, this is why this happened. It's like, no, this happened to me. And what did I contribute to the situation? Because I don't have to be perfect. I made a mistake, and this is the situation that came from it. Just grow from it and stop trying to put the blame on other people. Sometimes you be tripping. Sometimes you be tripping. It. And that's all I got to say. But learn in this generation, and even older. It's scarier for older generations because that concrete is drier.
Oh man, them folks ain't changed.
Oh,
they ain't trying to change.
Oh man,
them older generation, they not.
Now for people that like are willing to put in the work, like it's different for us because the millennial generation, it's all new. And we're just the ones.
We have social media.
We're
YouTube.
the tip of the iceberg that's trying to maneuver the next generation. But like for older generations, y'all, like you said, y'all gotta come from the 70s and 80s into the millennial, into the social media age. It's scary.
They have to read. We don't have to read. We just we watch Kev on stage and all of this stuff. Right. We could get a full book in an hour.
Yeah.
They gotta. You don't. Nah.
It's a different thing. But bottom line is, be comfortable with working on yourself. It's okay. Like my boy just said, you ain't perfect, and you ain't gotta be perfect. You drive yourself crazy trying to think that you broke and you trying to figure it all out. But that's besides the point. All right. I appreciate you coming on the podcast again, bro. Always. Love the conversation. The crazy part about this episode is we literally chopped it up for like an hour and a half before this, and it's like we almost need behind the scenes of our conversations, because we always have conversations before the recorded version.
Probably better than the show. The behind the scenes.
Like this is like the safer space, but it's like, but that's what I like about this podcast, because I have those conversations with my guests and my people, even though we have a relationship, but we can have those conversations and have conversations like this and be honest with each other, because fellas, your feelings matter. Ladies, your feelings matter. You are entitled to feel how you feel, but you need to be able to understand that, why do you feel the way you feel? And you need to be willing to work through those feelings and get to the root of it. Don't just sit in it. Fellas, stop telling your homeboys you good or you straight. If your fellas apologize to your homeboys. And don't cut them off talking about, we good. Let them express their feelings. Tell them why they feel. Tell them why you feel the way you feel. Fellas, that's our challenge. That's what I challenge you to do. Express how you feel. Figure out why you upset, why you sad, why you mad. Figure it out. Don't brush it off. Ladies, give your man room to grow and figure out why he feeling the way he did. You got anything else you want to add, bro?
Follow me on TikTok. This is _COD. Road to 200,000. Crankman on deck on all music platforms. Sammy Coca's Truition just dropped, produced by me. More music coming up. A new project, Been Too Lit, coming out in September. So always something new coming out. But outside of music, I will be having some fun.
It's good to know, right? He's working on himself.
Right.
Also, ladies, this is the most eligible bachelor. So if you're looking, aunties and cousins, if you got a good looking niece with a head on and that's willing to work on herself, and she's a real potential, DM me first so I can, don't DM me, comment, send me a message. I'll filter out, because I already know.
Before we even get there.
Yeah. If you make it through my filtering system, at least you're maybe a potential. But, my friend, he's eligible. He's one of the best out there on the market. So, ladies, come correct, okay? All right, if you ain't got nothing to add, this is the end of the episode. I have been your man T-Bell. This has been a great episode. I've actually kept up with the recording, so the audio and the video will match up the entire time. I didn't forget this time. But of course, until the next time, I have been your man T-Bell. Feel your feelings, and the only way that you can feel your feelings is if you go be great.